My name is Matthew Roberts, and I am a graphic artist. One thing that I think sets artists and designers apart is an artist usually finds something that inspires or influences their work and then uses that to develop their own style. As designers and students especially, it's less about developing our own style and more about doing what the client or the teacher asks for, which can be challenging, but at the same time really helps make us flexible and able to work in a number of different styles and adapt to whatever the need may be. When I'm trying to come up for ideas or inspiration for a new design, one website I like to use is inspirationgrid.com. This website's basically just a grid of a bunch of different images by various artists and designers. Two other resources that I use are the Trademark and Symbols book and the Noun Project website. These websites are especially useful if you're trying to design a logo. In this piece, I was working on a school project that involved isolating complex shapes from backgrounds. So in this case, there's this water splash. It was kind of an interesting experience trying to work with the channels, keep the layer itself transparent without keeping any of the background. So that was definitely an interesting thing to work with. As for the rest of the layout, the magazine name is loosely based off an actual magazine called Footwear News, and I chose to make it an ad for a specific shoe. In this class project, we were working with the blending options and layer styles in Photoshop and trying to create a dramatic scene out of something that would be otherwise undramatic. So in this one, I had the stock fire and smoke image, and through isolating it from its background was able to also blend the subjects. I really like the way this turned out, and I plan on using this effect in the future. I started by making this polygon shape out of triangles and decided I wanted to do something more with it. So I built the rest of the scene around it, added the man standing there with the umbrella and played around with the colors and the textures as well on the polygon. And I'm pretty happy with the way it came out as kind of a minimal, surrealist kind of scene. This was a composite of a few different images that I did for fun. I was browsing through pictures of clouds and mountains and decided to start playing around with them in Photoshop and trying to combine them into one scene. And I liked the look of it, so I decided to make it a little bit more sci-fi and adding the planets and the stars and the atmosphere and then the rocket as a final touch. And I really enjoy doing these kind of pieces, trying to combine different images and figure out how to make colors match and blend them together so that it looks more unified. My goal is to become a graphic designer in an advertising agency or a marketing company. And after I graduate, I plan on getting an internship somewhere locally and getting the experience I need to hopefully be able to do that as a full-time job. Maybe sometime in the future I would branch out and work from home and build my own clientele. But for the time being, I would prefer to work for a company instead of for myself. One weakness I have is a lack of practice and formal training in drawing, and the ability to sketch and illustrate is a really, really good skill to have as a designer, and that's something that I work on now later in life, but I wish I'd gotten a head start on. I think one of my strengths as a graphic designer is the ability to work quickly. In business, they always say time is money, and that's especially true when you're working on a deadline.